North American Warhorse Friday Night Rivals, sponsored by Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships, is on MyTV WQMY.
Welcome inside Hornets Stadium. We're in Wayne County. Tonight, it's a Lackawanna football Division II showdown. As Friday Night Rivals, team number 5, Western Wayne, battles their arch rival, Honesdale. A pleasant good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Ide, and welcome to week number 6 of Friday Night Rivals here on MyTV WQMY. Joining me for the 7th season, former Tunkhannock area coach Jan Sechak. And Jan, we have two teams tonight kind of going in opposite directions. Western Wayne's on a roll. They're 5-0. Honesdale has lost their last 3, but they feel like tonight they could turn things around.
They really could. And again, when you have a two-school district going at it, throw the record books out. This is going to be a really great game tonight. Coach Russick's excited, as is Coach Grodak from Western Wayne.
The Wildcats return their whole offensive line and some great skill peoples. Wide receiver Sean Owens and our figure spotlight player, he's a running back, Josh Fenton.
Josh Fenton, senior, number 28, 5'8", 180 pounds. This young man, talking to Coach Grodak, I said, how would you describe him? And he said, he's the real deal, explosive, runs downhill. He's only rushed this year for only 855 yards, 11 touchdowns, and he has 2 receptions for 66 yards, 1 touchdown. But overall, Bob, more importantly, over 3,700 yards rushing and 46 touchdowns. The young man is an amazing running back for the Wildcats.
Let's talk about the Hornets. They're a senior-laden team. They have a lot of experience, including at quarterback Aiden Collins. We'll see him later on. But also at the running back position. They're going to need a big night tonight from our other figure spotlight player. That's Mason Avery.
Mason Avery, 5'10", 175 pounds. He's only rushed for over 550 yards this year. He's got 6 touchdowns. His career, he's over 2,400 yards and 17 touchdowns. And talking to Coach before the game, I said, how would you describe him? And he said, he's an elusive runner. He's not a power back like the other side for the Wildcats, but he knows that this young man has been down the last couple weeks. He was sick. As he said, the entire team had a bug. He expects big things tonight.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the keys to the game from both coaches. First for Western Wayne.
Well, Coach Grodak wants to try to control the line of scrimmage with his big guys up front, and he also wants to try to implement a passing game to allow the Hornets not to pack the box in there. Now, for the Hornets, Coach Russick said the same thing. He's got to take care of the offensive line with the line of scrimmage, and he also wants to employ his special teams to tell them, look, guys, we can get a field change. We can get a turnover. We have to do great on special teams.
It's the 50th meeting between these two arch rivals. But Honesdale hasn't beaten Western Wayne since 2014. It's homecoming. Can they pull off the upset? We'll find out. It's Western Wayne and Honesdale next.
You're watching North American Warhorse Friday Night Rivals, sponsored by Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships on MyTV WQMY.
his line is 247 versus Western Wayne's 242. Slight advantage in terms of weight. Experience, I think it's going to have to go towards Western Wayne's defensive front.
Well, we talked about coming back to see this game a year ago down at Western Wayne, and sure enough, it worked out. Both teams coming in with a lot of experience on both sides in that game last year. We saw Western Wayne take a big lead. They held on for a 35-20 win.
And Coach Russick and the Hornets, he feels as though they've just shot themselves in the foot too many times. But his senior class, he really gives them a lot of props in terms of that they haven't quit. They know what they've done wrong. They're trying to fix it, and they keep coming back with a great attitude.
Jacob Wells kicks this Wayne County matchup off, and wouldn't you know, Honesdale fumbles it out of bounds on the 3-yard line, so the field position not enticing. Kobe White couldn't handle the opening kick. So we'll see 4-year starter Aiden Collins. Some big numbers for him this year, but he says he has not played his best game yet.
He hasn't, and Coach Russick also said that they've been battling illness on the team. And one of the things with Aiden Collins is he's only really averaged 10 throws a game because of their running back, Mason Avery, that they rely on.
Well, not sure what Honesdale wants to do, but when you start at the 3-yard line, how much does that change what you want to do? It's not. They're going to go right to the air quickly. Right over the middle. First pass is complete. And that's Colin Keese, the senior, pulls in his 9th catch of the season, and it's an NEPA Builders first down.
Well, I'm sure Coach had this scripted out what he wants to do. You see, it's just a quick hitting pass. I mean, just nice, easy slant. He's just throttled down in there. Good ball security, tucked it up inside, got them out of deep in their territory.
16 yards on that opening play, and they'll go back to the run. This is Avery. Gets the corner. Good blocking on the outside, and he'll be about a yard short of a first down. Let's check out the offense for the Honesdale Hornets, averaging 20 points per game, brought to you by North American Warhorse. Collins, Avery, and Babalo will be the halfback. Wide receivers, White, Duda, and Keast. And up front, very experienced offensive line, although there's a freshman right guard and a junior right tackle.
And they average 247 pounds across the board. So they have some experience, they have some size, and Bobby McDowell is really learning trial by fire. Bad snap.
Evan Funk, the senior, snapped it. Collins wasn't ready, and it's recovered by Western Wayne. So the first big turnover of the night goes right to the Wildcats. Honesdale with another mistake, and it's 1st and goal, Western Wayne.
Quinn Swartz, the sophomore, gets that right there, number 21. Fighting his teammate, number 12 for that. Boy, talk about unserious, unsettling type of offensive play right there. That was one of them. And that's what Coach was worried about with this game because we said earlier they throw the records out because this is just an inter-district rivalry game, bragging rights for the Wayne Highland School District right now.
These are the mistakes that have haunted this Honesdale team the last 3 games. So it's John Pye at the quarterback. We'll check him out in a minute. They're inside the Blaze Alexander red zone. They go right to Vinton, and big, strong push up front, and he gets to the 1. Here is Pyatt. Wide receiver the last couple of years, been mostly playing on defense, but now he's a quarterback, not doing too bad.
No, not at all. I mean, 5 TDs, 3 interceptions. He's only thrown 490 yards. I say only because when you have running back there like Josh Vinton that has almost 900 yards this year, 11 touchdowns, I mean, he does it all for the Wildcats.
We'll take a look at the offense later on, but it's a very big offensive line as well. Power I. Back to Vinton. Gets stuffed right at the goal line, but second push, and they called a North American Warhorse touchdown for Western Wayne. Josh Vinton carries it in again, his 12th carry for a touchdown this season.
They just go power I right, and they go right in there, right at that heart of that Hornet defense up in the middle. And what you saw right there was they had a better leverage. They got underneath of those black jerseys and pushed them up.
Jacob Wells kicks the PAT, and what Honesdale did not want to do is give Western Wayne any kind of breaks, and they did. They recover the fumble, they turn that into points, and they lead just under 2 minutes gone in this game, 7-0.
Absolutely not how Coach Russick drew it up. I mean, not even when he had the ball went out of bounds. Here we go. Here's the touchdown. There you go. What set up the touchdown for the Wildcats right there. And he wasn't ready for the snap, and then he was like trying to pull that in, and he just couldn't do it. And there's the extra point, up and good. And again, less than a minute and a half into the game, and they're up 7-0 Wildcats.
Kind of surprising. Evan Funk, the center, he's been around a few years. He's a senior. Collins is a senior. It just seemed like a miscommunication, which is kind of strange this time of the year and with the experience these two teams have.
Absolutely, Bob. Something must have triggered it. Maybe he saw something with the defense, and the quarterback was still scanning, and you know, it does happen. They are, and I always have to say this, they're high school kids. They're going to make mistakes.
So this Western Wayne defense comes in, giving up just 11 points per game. They're coming off a big win over Old Forge last week, 52-14. In fact, they've played teams that are now a combined 17-8. So they have had some tough competition, Western Wayne, including Wyoming area. They beat them soundly by 11 points.
They really did. And Western Wayne, Ledge down there, the Kellen Ledge, I mean, that kid's a phenomenal athlete, and Western Wayne did a great job being able to key him and stop him.
Well, this offense for Honesdale made a little run last week late against Valley View. They ended up losing 36-20. Now, they have played teams coming in that were 2-8. They lost to teams that are 11-4. So their front half of the schedule, very easy against East Stroudsburg North and Pocono Mountain East. The second half, they lost to Wallenpaupack, they lost to Mid-Valley, and they lost to Valley View. All teams with winning records. Back to Kobe White, and this time does a wise job, lets it go into the end zone. Good field position will bring it out to the 20. Let's take a look at the Western Wayne defense. We talked about them. They give up just about 237 yards per game. Evan Dean, Bryant, and Mundrake up front. Very good experience up there. Pyatt, Baldini, Jimenez, and Schwartz will be your linebackers. Humminger, Vinted, Owens, and Cylon are your secondary. So let's see what Honesdale can do this time. Well, we get a flag. I don't think Honesdale has to play a perfect game to win, but pretty close. And right now, they're far from that.
They really are not. This is not what they want to do. Give themselves, dig deeper into the hole, make it 1st and 15. Oh, excuse me.
Their RPO and nowhere to go. Big Evan Dean, 230, 6'1", wraps his paws around him along with Connor Bryant, 260 up front. In fact, about a 3-yard gain.
Well, they just ran inside zone on that off the RPO. We used to call that Izzy, just so, you know, inside zone that the kids knew everybody was on the same page.
So on second down, they'll go to the air. Collins looking right down the middle. They have a slant pattern, and it's connected. Great catch by Kobe White over the middle. It is an NEPA Builders first down up to the 38.
And this is where Coach Russick really, you know, he knows these kids can do this but they have to do it on a consistent basis without putting themselves in a hole.
18 yards on that. They found something that they're taking advantage of. And now Western Wayne jumps off.
Well, watching film all week, Bob, I did notice. Well,
encroachment, defense number 52. 5-yard penalty, first down.
They were prone to hard counts where they were jumping because the way they played their 3-4 defense, you know, their linebackers, the outside linebackers will creep up, creep back, and they got caught that time. And they're playing a cover 2, so again, they're going to be running quick slants and they're going to be running some probably fade routes, I would imagine.
Collins, as I mentioned, a 4-year starter, has thrown for over 3,300 yards, 32 touchdowns, and 18 interceptions in those 4 years. When Coach Russick came in, he saw the talent in Collins and immediately put him in, and now it's paying off. They'll fake it. Collins' first run of the night goes up for about 3.
Nice misdirection. What they're going to try to do is, again, they're going to be keying on Avery. Good job. You saw 67-21, and that's just a great read on the RPO. Yep, the sophomore linebacker, Quinn Swart, was on the stop on that one, number 21.
So second and short. Let's see if they want to go to the air or try to get that first down. They get a rep the middle. Avery with a bit of a hole. Has an NEPA Builders first down. Honesdale is into Western Wayne Wildcat territory.
We see Mason Avery on this one. He looks like he got fired out of a cannon on this one. He was like full speed in there. Look at that. Nice little trap play by number 51, Bobby McDowell, the 6'1", 250-pound freshman, pulling and kicking up inside. One thing Honesdale will do is they will drain the play clock down. They'll set up in one formation, then they go to the sidelines, and they change the play.
Collins to the air. It's caught by Duda, and Duda is immediately hit. And Duda is down.
Boy, he was dropped so hard by Vincent Silon, the 6', 170-pound senior.
Here you go again.
Boom.
As soon as he turned around, somehow Duda held on to the ball, so hopefully he's okay.
That was a great hit. And one of the things that we do as coaches is they have these big tires now that they work on tackling, so you're not using the live body. And that was perfect technique. You saw he wrapped. He had his head across the body. It's just unfortunate, and this is what happens when you play a collision sport.
So here are the Division II standings in the Lackawanna Football Conference. Western Wayne is starting their Division II schedule tonight. Honesdale has already played Mid-Valley, as we mentioned, in there. Mid-Valley is leading away. They lost last week to Lackawanna Trail. We've seen Lakeland. Dunmore got off to Schneid. They beat Carbondale barely last week. You have West Scranton and Honesdale in there, as all teams are kind of getting now into the rhythm of the Division II schedule.
Well, and they like to play the non-conference opponents first and try to get everything, get that timing down, get the teamwork down, what they need to do. Now it's when it counts.
Duda walked off, the sophomore. Could be a big loss. He had 12 catches coming in, 176 yards, but he looks okay. We'll see if he returns. So Collins goes for the hard count, and Western Wayne flinched but didn't jump. Western Wayne giving up just 81 yards on the ground. Avery bounces outside. The quarterback gets a block, and Avery's got the corner. Avery up to the 30-yard line, 13-yard gain, and another NEPA Builders first down.
Talk about making something out of nothing. Watch this, folks. They go with that inside zone. He bounced it. Now watch Collins. He took that on. You don't see quarterbacks usually. They'll get in the way, but they won't lower their shoulder like that. Anything for the team. That's one thing Coach Russick likes about Collins.
Western Wayne with some quick substitutions in the secondary. Back to Avery. Waits for the hole. Nice job by the senior being patient in there.
That's an excellent observation, Bob, because, again, you have the slot back, the inside slot. They were in their tight trips, and then they do pull. You see 51 again, the freshman, doing a nice job mugging up on the linebacker in there. That was number 34, James Jimenez, that got blocked by number 51.
Number 5, Babalo, also had a nice block in there. Collins back to the air. Going towards the corner. Into the end zone, and it's blocked away. Intended for Kobe White. Blocked away by Jack Humbinger, the senior.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that was a great call. What a tremendous job breaking that up. And number 10 coming in from his free safety, Sean Owens, doing a nice job. That's one thing that cover 2 allows you to do. The corners will take you all the way down, but then you have inside help from those safeties.
I like the call, though, by Honesdale.
Yes.
He had him open briefly. They still have 2 downs to get 6. You figure they're in territory now. It'll end around Avery. His quickness gets the corner. He puts his head down. He's up to about the 21, so it's going to be about a yard short of the line to gain.
This is a nice job. Look how they sealed the edge right there. Good job on the stalk block on number 28. That was Josh Vinton that was getting blocked right there. And again, one thing that the entire coaching staff said about Avery is that he's an elusive runner.
4th down. Honesdale stays on the field. Oh, they got Western Wayne to jump. That was Quinn Schwartz on the hard count. So that will give...
Encroachment defense, 21. 5-yard penalty results. First down.
That will give Honesdale another NEPA Builders first down. They are in the Blaze Alexander red zone for the first time tonight. This is a great drive they're putting together, Jan, especially after what happened in the first minute and a half of the game.
Yeah, I mean, they've almost had the ball now for almost 5.5 minutes, and it's still running. This is what Coach Russick and his staff wants to do. Keep the ball away, sustain drives. Now they got to punch it in.
10th play of the drive, back to Avery. Nice job by Vinny Baldini from his middle linebacker position. The junior just shot in and took down number 3.
Here you go, right here. You see 34 stepped up. They did a crossfire on that. That's where the right linebacker goes to the left. The left linebacker then drapes around him into that open B gap.
There you see number 3. We talked about Avery in pregame against Pocono Mountain East to begin the year. Second game of the year, he had 210 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's a career high. So we know he can run the ball. Let's see if they go back to the air, though. They do. Strong arm Collins finds his receiver, Keast. And they're going to give him forward momentum to the 5. And that is an NEPA Builders first down. It's 1st and goal, Honesdale.
He just did a tremendous job on the comeback. Look how he just stopped inside the zone, just waited for the ball. As we say, you want to go to the dead zone and stop. And he did that exactly because the corner and the free safety and linebacker, he went right in between the 3 of them.
So from the 5, Avery trying to get a block. Good defense on the outside by John Pyatt, the senior. Shoots in for his 24th tackle of the season and his 4th for a loss.
They went to their T backfield, and you just see it's a power, but they just didn't. There was a breakdown of communication. Number 34 was unblocked. That allowed Pyatt to come off his outside linebacker position and make that stop.
3-yard loss. Let's see if Honesdale again to the air, Jan.
Play action. I think a little bit of play action with Collins right now would probably do the Hornets good.
They tried and they fumble. Second turnover of the night for Honesdale, and it's not at a good time. Jarrett Goldman falls on the loose ball, and Western Wayne holds.
You just see it. It's a good snap. The RPO, he just didn't pull it enough. You flash the ball out there. The running back's supposed to snap his shoulders over top so they can't tell if he has it. But he didn't have that ball secure, the quarterback.
Wow.
Great drive. He took off 5.5 minutes.
Yeah, 12-play drive, and it goes for nothing. Now it's up to the defense to hold this strong offense, and Vinton jumps right out. Josh Vinton, deep into the secondary, takes it all the way up to the 37-yard line, a 25-yard gain.
Well, that's why that young man has almost 4,000 yards in his career. Look at that. They run a power play. They tuck the fullback up inside to kick. They bring the backside guard around to kick it out. And Vinton just has great vision and great speed.
Vinton last week, a career high, 270 yards and 4 touchdowns against Old Forge. Hard to believe for a guy that's been playing for 3 years. Vinton again into the secondary, up for another NEPA Builders first down. Let's take a look at this offense that's averaging 35 points per game and about 330 yards. Pyatt, Vinton, and Jimenez when we see a fullback. Owens, Cylon, and Mundrake. Mundrake, a very big tight end at 6'4". And up front, hey, they're very experienced, almost the same team we saw last year.
Well, it is, and they're 238 pounds across the board. And one thing Coach Grodak said about this offensive line is that they've gelled and they've been playing together, so they know what to do. And when you have a running back like Vinton back there, it makes your life so much easier.
Play action. Pyatt going to go deep in this coverage, and somehow the great catch by Sean Owens in the midst of traffic. What great hands the senior has.
Nice job by Sean Owens pulling that in, but I'm sure Coach Grodak's going to be going, guys, run your routes. There were two receivers right there. Nice job with the fake flash of the left hand. And that's what I was talking about. When you bring that over, you bring extra defenders in there. But again, good heads-up play, good hands by Sean Owens.
Keese just didn't put his hands up, number 11, or he might have blocked that ball. So 17th catch on the season for Owens. He had 6 catches last week for 140 yards and a touchdown. Back to the ground. Vinton shoots through the hole and up for about 9 yards. Make that about 8. But just how good is this Western offense? You see it. They're 4 plays in, and they're already inside the red zone.
They've already flipped the field position. The one thing about Vinton, I want next time, folks, watch how fast and smooth that young man runs. He loves running downhill. He loves collision. He loves the contact.
So from the Blaze Alexander red zone, Western Wayne again trying to add on to this 7-point lead. Jimenez with a nice block, and it's another NEPA Builders first down up to about the 14.
Well, and Tony Donini, 5'11", 210-pound senior, number 64, does a nice job on the power in there. And you see Coach Grodak right there, just cool, calm, and collected. He knows his team just flipped the field, and they're just marching down there.
Coach in his second season, 13-4 record in that time. Took over for Randy Wolf and has picked up where he left off. A very talented senior class, too. They give it to the fullback Jimenez, and he sheds tackles, and he is up to the 7.
For a 5'10", 200-pounder, he just looked like he was about 250 pounds. Just kept his leg pumping in there, and that was a fullback trap. That was number 52, Connor Bryan, on the pull. Good patience by Jimenez on that to let the full block come up through.
Well, I don't want to overstate this, but how important is it for especially against a team like Western Wayne.
You do. You have to take advantage when you can because they're going to be few and far between. Look at that coverage right there by number 13, doing a tremendous job. That's Jake Hubbinger doing it. He was covered him like a glove. That play, though, I mean, there was obviously a secondary breakdown, but boy, here it's like here's the silver platter. Here's, all you have to do is get the ball to him.
That's right. Well, Honesdale has proved they can move the ball. But can they get points? Back to the air. Collins looking this side, got a receiver. Caught by Keast. It's an NEPA Builders first down, gain of 11.
Well, this is one thing that Coach Russick wanted to try to exploit was their secondary, and they are doing that very well. Nice ball. Look at that. Nice tight spiral. Perfectly placed. Good job putting the ball in the outside arm, making sure if it does get knocked loose, it goes out of bounds.
Well, they found definitely something they want to exploit in the secondary. So Duda, who was injured before, is back. He's a sidecar to Collins, number 36, the sophomore. Here comes the rusher, setting up a middle screen. It was well covered. And instead of running, Collins saw Avery open downfield and just overthrew him. He would have had to throw that in a tight window.
And it was behind him, too. That's tough. I mean, again, now it's street football. We're just going to play, backyard football. Okay, it's not there. Good job. Look at 74 retracing his steps there for the Wildcats. Nice job. But that was just, he was open, but just under duress there as a quarterback, and that's tough. A right-handed quarterback rolling to your left.
Brings up second down. But again, Honesdale now in 2 consecutive drives inside Wildcat territory. And Paul Russ is going to call a timeout, 11:39 left in this second quarter.
Timeout taken on the field by the Hornets.
So Paul Russick, 4th season, 16-27 overall, but definitely a turnaround. And he made that commitment when we saw him 4 years ago. We had the freshmen.
Yes.
He had a lot of these guys that played then, and he's rode them for the last 4 years. They've made the playoff a couple years, and they have a chance to make the playoffs again this year.
And what he likes is that the senior class has stuck together for the 4 years he's been here. The commitment that he has made to this program and the district, these kids have returned it to him. That's why they haven't quit. That's why they keep coming out. And we keep seeing how well they can move the ball at times. But their biggest enemy right now hasn't been so much their opponents, it's been themselves.
Next week, we head to the Pennsylvania Heartland Conference. Mount Carmel taking on Danville. Both of those teams winning tonight. In fact, Danville shutting out Southern Columbia in the second quarter, 14-0. Mount Carmel leading Hughesville 21-0. Oh, Danville refreshed 20-0. They just scored. So that should be a great game down in the Heartland Conference against 2 very good teams, both ranked in our Friday Night Rivals top 10. Back to Avery. Again, finds patience and just carries a bunch of white jerseys. Let's see where the mark, if it's right where they marked, it will be an NEPA Builders first down.
The line to gain, good enough though for a Hornet first down.
And this is what Coach said. He's so elusive. Look, you see him coming into your living rooms, and he just shifts really quickly, just like that, nice and smooth, and he got that key first down to keep this drive alive. Now, the Hornets have that pressure put on them to get those points.
Well, they have to cut down on the mistakes that have cost them the last 3 games. They haven't so far. And they're going to call a timeout. The play clock was running down, so they didn't get that in too quick. A couple other scores. Riverside leading Susquehanna 14-0. That's a Division III game of the Lackawanna Football Conference. Susquehanna, a great start, 4-1 overall against the undefeated Riverside Vikings. Wyoming area leading Berwick 7-6. Down the Wyoming Valley Conference. Mid-Valley leading West Scranton. Scranton over Valley View 14-6, so Scranton's rebounded. We saw them get shut out last week by Scranton Prep.
And we saw some key injuries to Scranton, so Obviously, the kids are back, and that's good for Coach Shumbris and the Knights.
Dallas leading North Pocono 10-7. And Old Forge losing to Lackawanna Trail 21-0. Some Lackawanna football conference scores for you. So what do you want to see from Honesdale here? I mean, they had called 2 timeouts so far on this drive.
Well, you can't take the timeouts with you in the first half, so take it. That's fine. I know fans get upset. The play clock, it's fine. Right now, they're just going to just keep doing what they're doing. And Coach Grodak said one of his keys was he wanted to try to implement a pass game to complement his run game. And we're seeing that right now from Honesdale.
Collins with the carry, up for about 3 yards. Connor Bryant on the bottom.
You see, they go with the RPO. This is what they call the divide play, where the quarterback keeps it on this one. And why it's called a divide play is because he takes the step to the right or to the left, and then he's trying to divide that defense right behind the center.
Plenty of time on the play clock. At 10 right now. Collins looking, has protection, has an open receiver. Nice job by Kobe White to come back to get the ball, and they'll mark it up inside the 20-yard line, a 12-yard gain, and NEPA Builders first down.
And watch the concentration by White on this, thinking he's an NFL receiver. Watch how he punches both feet down before he stepped out.
Quick snap back to Avery, had a hole up to about the 15, maybe the 14. But what's been impressive is the line has given him a lot of protection back there. They're doing a nice job.
They're doing a great job. And Bradley Babalo right there was the key on that. He lined up in the slot, and he was the lead back through.
Same play. Collins gave it to Avery. Maybe should have kept it. So third down now.
They just do with that again. You see number 5 coming in. He does a nice job kicking the end out, but offensive line, they've got to take care of that first line of defense.
Back to the air, looking right, little quick out. It's caught by Kobe White. Makes one move, and he's up to the 1. Great job by Kobe White, the junior. First and goal, Honesdale. Another NEPA Builders first down inside the Blaze Alexander red zone.
Great call. I love this, the play. And again, the receivers are doing a tremendous job with the way the corners are bailing on them. They're stopping their plays, getting that separation, and able to make the reception.
Back to the 3-man backfield. And the senior quarterback at 6'2" puts his head down and gets Honesdale on the board with a nice drive, and their first points have come via Aiden Collins. It's a North American Warhorse touchdown.
That's going to give Aiden Collins a shot at confidence that he needs, that he knew that he feels bad about. Bob, and I'm going to play on what you were saying earlier about they played perfectly that series, and that's what they're going to have to do the rest of this game to stay in it and try to possibly get the lead back.
Well, they need to make a stop on offense. They need to stop the Wildcat offense, and I don't know how they're going to do that.
That's a tall order to fill.
I mean, you can match them all you want, but then you would get into a shootout, and I'm not sure Honesdale is built for that. But we'll see. They need to get a break. They need to get a turnover themselves. So Montgomery, the senior, has it teed up. The soccer player with a line drive kick. Picked up by the talented Owens, and Owens has a lot of speed and right up the middle. The quarterback slows him down. I should say the kicker slows him down. Sometimes Owens still stays on his feet, but we have a flag come in. Western Wayne will have the ball in Honer territory all the way down to the 44-yard line, and that may be a face mask against Montgomery.
Foul, face mask, number 0 on the kicking team. 15 yards will be added to the end of the kick. First down.
Well, as I said, I don't know how you stop their offense, but if you're going to kick it to Owens, you have to figure out a way to stop this speedster.
And look how smooth and how quick he turns the jets on, and just great burst coming up through. And that was a game-saving face mask by the birthday boy, our kicker there. He just had his birthday today. He's 17 years old. That's not what they want to do, give Western Wayne a short field. I think you know, Bob, who's going to be getting the ball this series.
I know, up to the 29-yard line after the face mask penalty, already up 14-7. Vinton with a hole, up for 7.
Vinton, the tailback, is 8 yards deep. They did the power play here. You'll see number 52 pull, kicks out the end. Fullbacks going up at the linebacker. Vinton just follows his leads, and he's always has a lot of success with that.
Aiden Collins makes the tackle. You can't give these Wildcats a short field. And that's what Honesdale has done twice tonight. Back to number 28, and he's got more than a first down. He's going to have a North American Warhorse touchdown of 23 yards, making 3 on the night for Josh Vinton.
He's got the hat trick for touchdowns, and we still have 7:46 to go in the half. Wow. This young man is a special guy. Again, now they go with the power the opposite way. That's 64. Tony Danini, the 5'11", 210-pound senior, pulling and kicking out. And the fullback, James Jimenez, has got to get a ton of credit in there for opening up in that linebacker.
So Wells puts this third PAT right through. And with 7:46 left in the half, Western Wayne answers the Honesdale touchdown, adding 7 more, and they up their lead back to 14. And I go back to what I said before. Somehow, Honesdale has to find a way to stop Western Wayne. Well, not a short field, first of all.
No, absolutely not.
But I don't know if you put 12 guys in the box and you only play with 11. I don't know.
Here's the touchdown. There's the power play, and you saw 64 Tony Danini there. And again, Vinton's got all sorts of time, but the burst and how hard he runs, you can see how jacked up he is, how excited he is for him and his teammates.
Well, that all started with the big return from Sean Owens. They don't need him to catch the ball. They just need him to run it back on a kickoff or punt.
And Owens, a great burst of speed there. Wow, so smooth.
Well, Western Wayne against Old Forge, 356 yards last week in a big game. They also threw for 168. So their 2 highs on the season on the ground and through the air all came a week ago against the Blue Devils.
You know, Colby White is the deep guy right now. He's at the 2-yard line.
And they've kicked to him all 4 times.
They must have seen something scouting that maybe that he's just a little unsure. So there's a reason why they keep kicking to that side.
Well, they don't want to kick to Mason Avery because of his quickness. Same reason maybe you don't kick it to Sean Owens if you're Honesdale. But
True.
well, this will be Kobe White. He's got to pick it up. He picks it up at the 1, fumbles it. Somehow, Keast ran that down, but Honesdale's going to start at their own 5. Another mistake for the Hornets.
This has been a bugaboo the entire season for the Hornets. He's got to get it, Bob, and you said that because that's a live ball, and he just didn't tuck it away. He had it out in front of him. Good pursuit by the Wildcats coming down.
Well, good scouting, as you mentioned, from Western Wayne, because they kicked it to him all 5 times now. And each time there's been something other than the one kicked out of bounds.
And the way Western Wayne has their kickoff set up, they're kicking off from the hash, and they only have 4 guys to the sideline. So they're using the sideline as a 5th defender to really, and then you have the other 6 guys collapsing down from the right side.
Well, let's see if Kobe White can make amends on this side. The offense back on. A little quick pitch to Avery. Gets good gain on that. Past the 10 for about 6.
No, and there's a flag that just came in late.
Again, Honesdale has been able to move the ball. They only have 1 touchdown to show for it, but 2 turnovers tonight, almost 1 right there on the kickoff. So now Mike Serra is going to talk it over.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 13, White. That's 15-yard penalty from the end of the play. That's his first towards ejection.
That's, Hubbinger, yeah, and that's big. Again, if we were able to see the replay, you'll see at the end, it looked like he was like stomped on somebody's hand or something. So here we go. Thank you, replay. You guys are the best. Now watch. Come in here. It was just something.
Yeah.
Maybe he pushed off. I'm not sure, but
not really. I didn't see anything real aggressive other than what we see all the time
in a football game.
Yeah, in a football game, right? Well, that's a positive play for Honesdale. Gets them out of the shadow of their own end zone now, up to the 27. Good protection all night long. The offensive line has done a nice job. Down for White. Can he catch it? White does! Out of bounds. He may have been juggling that as he went out of bounds.
Wow,
that's close.
That was close, and they're really stretching the Wildcats secondary right now. They're not afraid to go downtown. Beautifully thrown ball.
Good job, John Gumbel. Yeah. Was he bobbling it? I couldn't tell.
He was in bounds, but when he went to catch it, he was out of bounds when he made the catch. And again, the officials are in perfect position to make that call. It's unfortunate. Again, White's just trying to help his team any way he can, and it's right
when
there.
He went to the air, he didn't catch the ball until he was in the air. Well, Collins back to the air, has a wide open receiver. This is Keast again. So nice tackle, opening up 3rd and short now, maybe 4 yards for Honesdale.
Coach Grodak's going to have a talk with his secondary because I believe he's the secondary coach. Why are these kids getting open? They're doing a really nice job, like I said, throttling down into the dead zone, stopping and making themselves that open for targets.
R.J. Walton, number 12, on the tackle. Coming up on 10 on the play clock. Plenty of time for Honesdale. They get the play from the sidelines. Big 3rd down here. No team has punted yet tonight. Collins underneath some pressure. He's got some pressure. First time tonight. Finds the receiver, Avery. Avery, can he get to the line to gain? And he does. And a late flag. This is going to go against Western Wayne and add on more yardage for the Hornets. So it's an NEPA Builders first down up to the 39 plus the flag. Good job by the senior Aiden Collins.
He did a tremendous job extending that play, making things happen.
After the play was over, Personal foul, hit out of bounds, number 13, White.
Personal foul.
15 yards to end the run. First down.
That's the second on Harbinger.
Well, we'll see what the officials.
See, yeah.
Well, watch this though. I mean,
This is
Mason
Aiden Collins and Avery. Nice job. That's what happens when you guys play together for 3 and 4 years. But more importantly, the discipline of the offensive line not to go downfield.
That was not an unsportsmanlike.
It wasn't
that was
unsportsmanlike. It's just personal foul.
Yep. So there's a difference.
There is, but
Talmite Wildcats. 6:17 left in the half. So the ball's at the Wildcat 46-yard line. Shane Grodak wants to talk to his defense.
Tomorrow at North American Warhorse, they are holding an Indian motorcycle demo day with 22 bikes, food, music, and up to 70% discount on Indian apparel. Join us for a fantastic day and check out our coolest bikes on the road. North American Warhorse, your power sports superstore.
21-7 the score. Number 5, Western Wayne out in front. Honesdale on the move again. Aiden Collins having a nice night through the air. And Western Wayne, I think, wants to talk about why those guys are so open, right? You talked about that.
And it hasn't just been on one play. Consistently, they've done. I mean, we saw, Bob, and you mentioned it earlier, that one that was wide open. So there was a breakdown on communication on that play, obviously. But the Hornets keep getting themselves open.
Collins back, 5-man rush, still has time, has a wide open field, takes advantage. Nice tackle, though, on the far side by number
14.
That is R.J. Walton.
Nice job. He had some time. There was a lot of pressure being thrown up, and Avery does a nice job giving himself up on that outside linebacker coming in. Nice job grabbing the legs, making sure he can't get any more yardage.
It looks like R.J. Walton is playing for Vincent Cylon. I didn't see Cylon if he got hurt or anything, number 7. Walton in now at the far side cornerback position. Avery shoots through. Has an NEPA Builders first down up to the 24-yard line, 16 yards for number 3.
And this is what Honesdale has done consistently this year. They make things happen. They go do such great things in there. And you saw how patient Avery was and elusive, I'm using coach's term right now, how he runs that ball.
Nice job by Duda, avoiding the hit this time. The sophomore pulls it in, and a gain of 9.
Well, get Duda back into the game, get him into the flow. But again, that's what I'm saying. He stops right in between linebacker, corner, and safety.
Good push from the offensive line, and NEPA Builders first down. They are again inside the Blaze Alexander red zone are the Hornets.
Conley Keast on that from his slot position, comes across as a lead blocker right there, takes on the defensive tackle. A weight advantage to Western Wayne's number 74, Evan Dean, 6'1", 230-pounder, junior.
So it's been Collins and Mason Avery leading the way on offense. Collins looking. Didn't have a receiver in the end zone, but he does have room. Finds a receiver and overthrew him. Maybe should have taken that one. Did see Duda in the back of the end zone and overthrew him. And he knows he should have ran the ball.
He's saying, that's me. I'm sorry, guys. That's me. There was 3 Hornets that were open in the end zone on that. Just because, again, he's looking to his left, does a nice job. He's stringing it out. You see 1, 2, and there's a third one right there. Little frustration can be set in, but the receivers have done a great job getting themselves open.
So coming up on 10 on the play clock. Back to Avery. Jimenez shoots in from linebacker position. Hits Avery behind the line of scrimmage. He falls forward half a yard at that. So 3rd and long now, facing Honesdale.
And nice job by nose guard number 52, Connor Bryant, on that. Taking on the block and just clogging the hole, allowing his linebackers to scrape over top and make the stop.
Needs to be moved immediately. Again, a gray Volkswagen license plate LJP 3645.
Montgomery does have a good leg, but Honesdale wants a first down and they want a touchdown, but they're going to give it to Keese, and he's going to be well short. He's up to the 9. Just about a 6-7 yard gain.
The way their secondary's playing, the Western Wayne's secondary's playing, they were playing deep. They didn't want to give up the touchdown, so they allowed a short 4 or 5 yard gain, and you see how fast they are coming up, converging, making the tackle.
4th down again. They converted on the first one they played call tonight, but this is a little longer, 4th and 6. Not going to take a field goal. Coach Russick knows he needs a touchdown to keep up with this Western Wayne team.
Especially with Western Wayne getting the ball to start the second half.
They're going to call their last time out of the half here. 2:44 left. And talk this one over. We know Montgomery can make a field goal from here. We saw him warming up in pregame. So coming up in the Toyota halftime report, we're going to have an extended halftime due to homecoming here. So we'll have a report from the Fox 56 News team. We'll have a check presentation. We'll hear from the Raising the Roof people. We'll have first half highlights, and we'll check out our national highlights from around the country from Friday Night Rivals and Thursday Night Lights. That's coming up in the Toyota halftime report. Baba, Jan Cechak, and the Fox 56 crew enjoying another beautiful night for high school football. We are wearing shorts in Honesdale at the end of September.
And we know in the Wayne Highlands it's always cold, but it's been beautiful this year. We've been very fortunate in terms of weather, and let's keep that going.
Yeah, not a lot of jackets on. You see some shorts in the crowd over on the Western Wayne sidelines. Couple sweatshirts out maybe. Okay, what do you call here? If you're Western Wayne, are you blitzing? And 2, if you're Honesdale, you give it to Avery, you got to fake it.
Well, their coverage now is really tight because they know it's a pass.
And they get the pressure on Collins and they take him down. Western Wayne gets the big rush at the apropos moment. And big number 55 takes it in, Vinny Baldini with the sack.
He just ran over the center, unfortunately. Evan Funk didn't have a shot on that one. Again, that's tough when you're a center. Your first job is to snap the ball, and Baldini did a tremendous job just teeing that up perfectly and just went right over him for that sack.
And Western Wayne has 2 timeouts left, 2:37 left. That's plenty of time for this Wildcats team to knock in another touchdown. Pyatt going to go to the air again, looking for Owens, and Owens just overthrew him. Good coverage, though, by Keast.
Real nice coverage by Keast, and you saw that there was pressure. He was under duress right there. Number 5 coming in there, that's Bradley Babalo, putting the pressure in the quarterback's face. And this is what Coach Grodak wanted to do. He wanted to try to establish some type of pass game to loosen up that box so that they can't bring 8, 9 guys in.
Western Wayne goes right back to the I formation with Vinton, and they'll give it to number 28. He's already having a big night. Good job at Honesdale to clog him up.
Number 77, Gus Duran, 6 foot, 230 pounds. And number 67, Logan Dietrich in there doing a nice job not losing ground from the line of scrimmage. It's a good job, guys, for the defensive line. Got to give them some love from Honesdale as a former defensive line coach. That's tough, especially when you have a running back like Vinton that can pick and choose where he wants to run.
Honesdale has an opportunity here. 3rd and long by Western Wayne. Pyatt going to go right to the air, back out. Quick little in-cut from Sean Owens. Nothing you can do there with the speedster. And he picks up an NEPA Builders first down.
And that's what, again, keep the drive alive. They're going to milk the clock down. Again, 2 pass plays in this series. Well, you got Vinton back there. We're going to loosen you up, and that's what they did. The secondary started to drift back. Good job by Owens being disciplined.
And John Pye, we saw his numbers to begin the game, just 1 interception on the year. So he's been safe with the ball when he's needed to pass. Little pitch to Vinton, and he has speed. Number 28 gets tripped up, and they finally catch him all the way down inside the 15, finally knocked out at the 13-yard line.
Wow. What speed that young man has. Again, he's 8 yards deep. That gives him plenty of time to get the vision going so he can see where he wants to go, and gives him, more importantly, the time to get that going. Nice job by number 11 right there. Conlon Keys to hit at his shoes, and then his teammates came over to force him out of bounds.
70-yard gain from Vinton, his longest of the night. And Western Wayne knocking on the door inside the Blaze Alexander red zone. They're going to give it to Jimenez this time. And Gus Duran, the junior, number 77, wrapped him up, along with Duda.
Just they went fullback trap in there, and you see that that's Connor Bryant, number 52, that pulled. And Jimenez just coming up inside, but a host of Hornets there to stop him.
Donovan Davis, number 99, comes in at defensive end for Honesdale. You have to think 28's getting the ball here. And it is same play as before, a little quick pitch, and he powers through for his 4th touchdown of the night. It's a North American Warhorse touchdown, number 4 for Josh Vinton.
And just watch the speed. The offensive line does a nice job. They combo block 52, 57. They combo down on the tackle, push it out, and that's allowing that seam up inside. So it looks like it's a toss play, but he's coming right back inside.
Wells, PAT is up and through, and with 30 seconds left in the half, Western Wayne extends their lead to the largest of the night, 21 over Honesdale. 6 plays, 84 yards is the drive. Josh Vinton with a 70-yard gain is having a big, big night on offense. And we talked about Honesdale not making it on 4th down and what that would do, and it didn't take long to show why the Wildcats are one of the top teams in District 2.
Here's this long run. Look at that. He just comes through full speed. Not very good tackling there by number 1, but number 11 does a nice job. Keys saving that, and then they bring him down. Now, who do you go to, Bob? And this is what I'm saying. They're running that power play, but he's cutting it back up inside. That's just great vision that he has as a running back.
So just like the 3 losses for the Hornets, they show great strength on offense. They're putting up the yardage, but they're not scoring.
They're not finishing drives.
No, and the 2 turnovers aside, but you mentioned it, not finishing drives is the key, and that's what Paul Russick talked about.
And you see Coach Russick there, his hands on his hips there. He's letting his special teams coach. He's going to let his offense. He calls the offense. He's letting his coaches coach. He's not micromanaging them. He allows his coaches to do their thing just like he allows the players, and he wants his players to respond now. Again, going into halftime knowing you're down by 21 and they get the ball to start the second half, that's going to be a key series for the Hornets to come out ready to go.
Well, if we're placing odds, and you can in high school, I think he's going to hit it to number 7, and I think they've switched things up now.
Oh, this is that same formation they've been running, where they only have 4 from the hash over to the sideline.
Yeah, Kobe White is not in there. This is Duda, the sophomore. He makes a nice catch. So they've changed things up. And Duda with a nice return up to the 42 with 20 seconds left. So Coach knew these 4 games in the middle were going to be the toughest of all. Walpaugpack, Mid-Valley, Valley View in there. And, of course, tonight's game against Western Wayne. I don't know if Walpaugpack's been the surprise for a lot of people. We knew Mid-Valley and Valley View and Western Wayne were going to be good. Just one win now in the last 4 games that they're going to face. So he knows it's getting, on paper anyway, it's going to get, in quotes, easier, right, in quotes.
In quotes.
Right?
Yes.
If Honesdale plays like they're playing against these teams, they should win, which could put them back into the playoffs. But it's going to be tight at the end, especially in 4A. Collins goes out of bounds. Takes a hit, 12 seconds left.
Wow, Collins did a great job stepping up in the pocket right there. It's collapsing all around him. As you'll see, 52's in there, 74. And what's he do? He steps up, and again, he eludes 2 more Wildcats, and then he puts his shoulder down, gets out of bounds.
Yeah, Western Wayne playing that 2 deep safety now with 12 seconds left in the half. Can they get in the field goal range? That's my question. Over the middle. Almost picked off, and that 2, when we talked about the safeties just hanging out, Vinton had it and dropped it. Last week he caught it and ran it in for a pick 6.
And that is classic cover 2 right there, where you have the 2 safeties deep, and their corners are playing bail right now, which means they're like 8-9 yards off. And there was just too much time, and he just sat there. Vinton did a great job reading that and almost had that ball.
5 seconds left in the half. Western Wayne will get the ball to begin the 3rd quarter. Little delay to Avery. Just trying to break something. He won't. Time will run out, and that's the way this half will end. Western Wayne comes in undefeated, and they put up a big lead over their rivals from Honesdale. 28-7 is the score. Coming up the Toyota halftime report, and then Jan and I will be back in the booth with some stats, highlights, some district standings, anything that we can fill the homecoming time with.
And NEPA. To see Josh Vinton running the ball as well as he does, but to have 4 touchdowns in the first half, I'm not even going to guess at how many yards he has at this point, but he is an amazing young man. Honesdale, unfortunately, keeps shooting themselves in the foot. I mean, the kickoff to start the game and then the bad snap, I mean, they got to overcome these things. They started to, but Western Wayne answered the bell, coming right back and driving right down the field and scoring.
Yeah, they had an opportunity to cut it to 7, but on 4th down and 6, from their own 13, right inside, they couldn't convert. Right? So then Western Wayne went right down the field and scored again. That kind of was the backbreaker. If not, they might have been in the game a little bit.
It was. I mean, 4th and 6 and no timeouts left. They tried to make something happen deep in Western Wayne's, the red zone, and they didn't, and Western Wayne just comes right back, Bob. I mean, Vinton, but again, in that series, they passed the ball a couple times, and they were successful. So Owens had a great reception. They had a great kickoff return following the touchdown for the Hornets. So they've got a lot of talent, a lot of power over there on the Western Wayne side.
Let's take a look at some of the first half highlights, and you're going to see a lot of number 28 in these highlights. He gets the first touchdown. That is after the fumble.
And then again, Vinton coming in, and he just squeezes in there, gets a second touchdown for the Wildcats. And there you go. Now, Aiden Collins getting back into the Hornets. It's 14-7 at this point. We're thinking, okay, again, Vinton, incredible long run here. Oh, I'm sorry, that's his touchdown. That's his 3rd touchdown. Here we go with the toss. And this is, like I said, it's a design play. He comes in there. He's just an incredible running back. He always is very modest. He will be the first guy to say, I couldn't do it without my linemen. But more importantly, Jimenez has been there all season long as his fullback lead blocking up in there on those linebackers.
Western Wayne has 205 total yards. They've had a couple short fields, but Josh Finn tonight, 12 carries, 160 yards on the ground, and you saw those 4 touchdowns. We'll gather some Honesdale highlights. We'll take a look at some District 2 standings. That's coming up after the break. But first, some national highlights from around the country for Friday Night Rivals and Thursday Night Lights.
The best Thursday Night Lights and Friday Night Rivals highlights from across the country.
Fade a throw. He's going to hurl it deep downfield, and that ball is hauled in. What a catch by Javian Robinson.
Cam Wade with a cut. Inside.
homecoming here. Festivities are being presented on the field. Brand new turf field. When we were here 4 years ago, they had grass, so beautiful facility here. Softball on one end, and then baseball on the other. Football, soccer, field hockey in the middle. Beautiful facility here. And there's the Aiden Collins, the quarterback, participating in tonight's festivities for homecoming. So we have an extended time. We'll take a look at some district playoffs because we are in week 6. So
yes,
playoffs will be here before you know it. And we take a look at 4A, and that's where we find Honesdale in the mix. Valley View is surging ahead now, I think, but tied with Scranton tonight, so they have a tough schedule coming up. Wallenpaupack losing to Scranton Prep, North Pocono losing to Dallas, so Dallas could win 3 in a row, and they get just 4 teams in this year.
And Dallas started really rough this year. I mean, start your first game with the number 2 team in the state, Jersey Shore. I mean, that was a tough task with an inexperienced line, and Coach Manello said, I just need time with these guys. They need time to gel and form, and they have, and they've been on a 2-game win streak right now. Honesdale keeps shooting themselves in the foot. Crestwood, I saw Coach Arcangeli down at the Bloomsburg Fair, spoke to him, and they are riddled with injuries right now. And Nanticoke, I mean, they have a lone win over Tunkhannock, and Scott Dennis's passing, that just rocked the entire Nanticoke school district.
So who gets 3 and 4 in there? I think that's the big question as we head into the last 4 weeks of the season. We talked about Honesdale's schedule getting easier. They lose tonight, they go to 2 and 4, but they have 4 games they could win. They could end up 6 and 4. And who knows, it could come down to Honesdale and Wallenpaupack. Well, we know Wallenpaupack already beat the Hornets this year. So let's go to 3A. Now, this year alone, we talked about this last week. This is a 18 playoff. Next year it goes back to 4. Western Wayne out ahead right now, surging ahead. Prep beating Wallenpaupack tonight. So who gets the top spot will come down to probably opponents' points, because both teams I can see ending the season with a lot of wins. Prep's only loss is a team from Buffalo, New York.
And again, when we look at that for the top seed, head-to-head, Western Wayne beat Wyoming area, so that's okay. That's Scranton Prep is the one that has the trump card right now because of the lone loss they have is an out-of-state opponent that is nationally ranked. So, I mean, it's everyone's going, but you want to have home field advantage.
Yeah, you have absolutely down. Now, again, 8 teams are in, so it doesn't matter if you're a Montrose team. Right now, you're in the playoffs, right? I mean, that's what it comes down to. You don't have to be over 500 this year in District 2, 3A. Now, remember, Prep does play Mid-Valley later on in the year, so they'll get some points for that, plus playing in a tougher division with some teams that are winning. 2A, this one gets really tight. They'll get 4 teams this year. Riverside out ahead. They're beating Susquehanna tonight pretty handily. So, as we've seen Riverside against Lakeland, we figured they're the favorite. Dunmore winning tonight, beating Lakeland. So, that who gets the second seed, I think, maybe is the toss-up.
And that's, pick your poison.
Yeah.
You're going to play Riverside. Who do you want, Dunmore or Lakeland? That's where that's going to come down to. And we saw, unfortunately, Lakeland just couldn't match up to Riverside back in week 2, I believe it was. Mm-hmm. And Dunmore, Coach McHale, had lost a lot of kids to graduation, and they're starting to get it back together now.
They are. We will see Riverside last game of the year going up against Lackawanna Trail, which could be for that Division 3 championship, in the Lackawanna Football Conference. We know Lackawanna Trail is surging now. They're ahead in 1A. So the homecoming festivities being taking place. They're the homecoming queen, and I would assume king. We don't want to. We don't have names, but congratulations to them.
Congratulations! I thought for sure it would have been a homecoming king for Tyler Peterson, our own graphics guy. Yeah,
Honesdale graduate.
Yes.
Well, he was homecoming king, no doubt, in his day.
mistakes, turnovers have cost them dearly tonight.
And they have not been able to score.
And that's been they have 14 points. The Wildcats got on their turnovers. So, again, we could say woulda, coulda, shoulda, subtract 14 points. It's a 14-7 game. Maybe that's the angle Coach Russick took with his kids at halftime. Say, look, okay, this is going to be key to come out here to start the second half. We've got to stop them.
Absolutely have to stop them. That's the tough thing. Now, Western Wayne's going to get the ball to begin the third quarter. You have to stop them. Somewhere along the line, you have to figure something out. You have to get a turnover, strip the ball, whatever. But, that big offensive line from Western Wayne, so much experience is just giving Josh Fitton those holes. They don't even need Sean Owens tonight. Right?
Well, yeah, but it's nice to have that
in their back pocket.
Yeah, that caliber kid that is such a good athlete out there for them. Josh Fitton, I don't know how many turnovers he has this year. I haven't seen that stat, but I would probably venture to say it's probably less than 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he does not. He's sure-handed. You can see how well he protects the ball when he's running it. I mean, he is legitimate, a very good running back. I'm sure a lot of the Division III schools would love to have him. The Division IIs, unfortunately, fall into that category where they're looking for someone, the eye test. We want someone 6 foot, 210 pounds, and, they'd be remiss if they didn't look at Josh Fitton. No.
Yeah, he's listed at 5'8", 185. Okay. I think he's close to 5'8". As close as you can be.
Yeah.
But I mean, probably
yes.
a Division III, but still, real good running back. Of course, Western Wayne has had those good running backs the last few years. You mentioned the Janisevskis.
Yes. What a pedigree family.
Yeah. So they had that, but again, both teams are very senior laden. A lot of upperclassmen that play. So next year will be the key. Then what happens next year? Can they rebuild? Do they have that young team coming up? And Honesdale, I think Coach Russick said they have a lot of kids coming up. They have a good junior high program, so they have the numbers.
Which is key to sustaining what you've been building for Coach Russick for the last 4 years, Coach Grodak for the last 2 years. It's really neat. And Bob, you had mentioned earlier in the broadcast that we saw these two teams last year when we did the broadcast and said this is going to be another great game. And it can be, and it should be. And Coach Russick right now, let's see what he does.
Well, Honesdale made a late run last year. They ended up losing. Of course, we talked about that. 35-20. But Honesdale played much better in the second half in that game. Rylan Montgomery, the senior, has it teed up. Does not kick it the way of Sean Owens. But again, Owens does pick it up from the 15. Right up the middle. Has speed. Breaks out. And Sean Owens, it's a race to the end zone. They have the angle on him. And they finally pull him down. He's going to be inside the 25. So another big return from the Big O.
And, okay, we're not going to kick to him. We're going to squib it. And it squibs right down the center, right into his hands. And this is how smooth he is. At great speed, great vision. Bob, we were talking earlier about the stats, how it seems like Honesdale's kind of close to it. But we haven't figured in kickoff return stats either. Again, another short field for the Wildcats to get set up to start this second half.
62-yard return from Sean Owens. And luckily, Honesdale had the angle on him or he would have been gone. And that sets up Western Wayne to extend their lead here in the third quarter. Back to Vinton. Hurdles for about 2.
Well, and he tried hurdling a big guy, 6 foot, 230-pound junior Gus Duran, 77 in there, who gets a little bit washed down, but then he squeezed the pressure. He felt the pressure, and he pushed it back out, and that's what forced Vinton to jump over him.
There you see Mason Rush, number 50, the center for this Western Wayne team, a senior. 3 seniors on the left side. And then 2 seniors on the right for this offense. So very senior-laden team, especially up front. They return all 5 offensive linemen, and it is showed. Quick out to Owens, and he can't pull that one in. Three flags just went up in the air after the play.
Well, they tried going with the swing pass on that, something different.
Mike Serra, our referee tonight. This had to be something. Oh,
It's behind
that
the
high
line.
hit?
Possibly. I'm not
sure. That's why they're discussing it.
The ball
There's
was
a high hit. Then
they might call that the blind side.
And then a little late hit after, but nothing outrageous, right?
No,
nothing. But just flags. So two referees saw the same thing.
After the play, personal foul, number 13, offense. 15 yards from the previous spot. Third down.
So he said 13.
Yes. That's two personal fouls and one on Sportsman against
Humbinger.
Jack, 6'1", 165-pound senior. We said early in the broadcast that
That had to be that high hit.
It had to be. Again, I think what they probably saw was that the defender couldn't defend himself.
So that was part of the play. That was not after the play. So it remains second down.
And it went from the spot, which was at the line of scrimmage.
So the ball is at the 35-yard line. So it's part of the play. It was not after. So keep the down. Now they marked it the third down. So it was after. So the down marker has it at third down from the 35. Vinton, big hole. Another flag comes in. Let's see what this one is.
Well, Vinton almost got 15 yards back right on that run right there.
Personal foul, face mask, number 1. 15 yards be added to the end of the run, results in a first down.
Landon Estes, the senior.
Well, easy come, easy go.
Yep, exactly.
They're just running their base power play again, and he lassoed him up top. Yeehaw, Cowboy!
Lassoed him. Einen GMC first down for Western Wayne. Now they are first and goal from the 9. Inside the Blaze Alexander red zone. Power eye. Well, Honesdale moves. Well, if you're the Hornets fans, they're all kind of sitting here in disbelief.
Well, it's self-destructive behavior right now that the Hornets have inflicted upon themselves. And it's just, with this type of offense, how potent they are, you don't want to give them any advantage.
No, that's exactly it. Defense is there. Nice job. Duda with the tackle, and a bunch of his teammates holds Vinton from his 5th touchdown of the night.
They went with the power eye. The fullback went to the right. The power back went left, like an ISO play in Vinton. But nice job there by Gabe Duda, the sophomore outside linebacker rover. Does a nice job coming up and stopping him.
Also another face mask. Vinton goes in. There is a flag. I believe this is going to be count. So it's a North American Warhorse touchdown for Josh Vinton. We'll see what the flag is, but I believe it might be a face mask. It is. So the touchdown will count, and it's number 5 now for Josh Vinton.
Well, he's having a great night, a night that on homecoming for the Hornets. You have right there, you saw. It's unfortunate. It just, he was just reaching a defensive lineman coming in. That was number 67, Logan Dietrich. That was the guilty party on that.
Jacob Wells on for another extra point. So the kick is up and good. Owens with a big return. The short field. An advantage for Western Wayne. They knock another touchdown in, and they up their score 35-7. This one will sail into the end zone.
Tomorrow is another all-day college football Saturday on Fox. Game 1 kickoff is at noon with the number 12 Wolverines hosting the Minnesota Golden Gophers. At 3:30, the Colorado Buffaloes roam into the Sunshine State to battle UCF for a Big 12 matchup. The late-night game begins at 11 with number 8 Oregon taking on UCLA. Get your fill of college football all day tomorrow, only on Fox 56.
Well, 11 p.m., Big Ten game.
Yes.
Wow.
Sorry, I won't be up for that.
I won't be up for that. But that's a Big Ten game at 11 p.m. tomorrow night on Fox.
I mean, the Oregon Ducks, they're amazing what Cristobal has done out there with them.
Timeout Honesdale. Before the play clock ran to 0. So it's a Pennsylvania Army National Guard timeout for Paul Russick's team, imploring them to focus maybe.
And I'm sure we got to do this for pride, guys. Let's get this going. Let's prove that we can hang with this team. We've given up too many points because of our own mistakes. They're a very good team, very well coached, but so are we. I see Coach Grodak saying, calm heads prevail, just play Wildcat football.
Well, next week, Western Wayne will travel down to Scranton, take on West Scranton, the winless Invaders. Heavily favored in that one. So after the timeout, Honesdale back out. Collins looking over the middle, has the receiver. That's Kobe White. Makes a nice catch, big gain. Out to the 42, 22 yards on that pass play.
Nice job. He had plenty of time to throw the ball. Nice spiral. Good job with that mesh concept in there. And again, the mesh concept is where you're going to have your one receiver come through as a decoy, kind of get in the way because you cannot have any contact as a receiver with the D-back. But if you get in the way enough, it allows the second receiver coming through to get open like that.
Here's the sophomore. Duda has a hole. Duda being chased down by Owens. He goes out of bounds inside the 15. So it's a Einen GMC first down.
And they just go with the speed sweep on that. Nice job by Duda picking and choosing. Nice burst of speed, good ball security. And Owens has said, not on my watch, not tonight, son.
So 44 yards for Duda, and they try to go to Avery, sneak him in the middle. They can't. Defense is there. Now another opportunity for Honesdale to get points. So the yardage are racking up for Honesdale, but the points are not. You can see it on the face of Paul Russick there.
Time is not on their side. I know that Coach wanted to try to control that time of possession, but when you're not getting any points, it's all for naught.
Here comes the blitz. Jimenez just misses Collins, but his teammates are there. Will go down for a sack. And that was, I believe, Evan Dean.
Yes, the big guy.
Big guy.
Doing a nice job. 6'1", 230-pound Evan Dean. Staying track, putting pressure on. Watch, he stops, retraces his steps, and says hello.
Second sack of the season for Dean. Third and long now facing Honesdale. There's the movement up front again. That looks like Jared Goodman again. 67 who jumped off.
Defense, number 67.
Thank you.
5-yard penalty. It's third down.
You were validated, Bob.
Confirmed.
Mr. Sarah said, yes, we're on the same page. It's amazing that, that they keep getting them on it. You would think that by this time, again, and as I used to coach defensive line, we used to tell the guys, go deaf. You just, out of the corner of your eye, watch the ball.
So it brings up third and let's call it manageable, 2-down territory here if you're Honesdale. Fake it to Avery. Going to the end zone. He's got a receiver. Incomplete. It hit the ground.
Again, quarterback rolling to his left, stops, tries to go back with his right arm throw, and the receiver, it just wasn't there. Again, Duda making a heck of an effort.
He was open. Good job by good job by our cameraman, John Gumble, down on the field. Pretty easy call there. So fourth down, call it again. Honesdale 1 for 2 on the night on fourth down. They're open. You just got to make the play.
They got to make the play. They got a better throw, better catch.
Yeah.
And the secondary now is rolled up a little bit.
Here comes the blitz. Oh, ton of white jerseys after Collins to the end zone. Knocked down, and Western Wayne holds.
Well, I like the call. I like they're pedal to the metal, Coach Russick. That's what this offense is predicated on. We're going to go for it. Nice job with the bootleg action, naked boot. What that means is there's no guard pulling for him to protect. He had 3 white jerseys in his face.
Good call by the Wildcats, knowing it's a passing down.
Yes.
Send the pressure.
And they didn't do anything crazy. It's not like they were stunting or, they didn't do any twists or anything like that. They just did a base bull rush, and they got through.
So from the 11, little mistake. They finally get it to Vinton. He gets the corner. Goes out of bounds short of the first down. at the 19. I don't know if Wyatt, or it's going to be Pyatt, may have bobbled the ball.
There was a little congestion up inside on that. So, again, and we know Vinton can get to the outside and hurt you. But nice job right then containing him for a little bit and forcing him to go out of bounds.
Here comes the run blitz. They knock him down, but he surges forward for an Einen GMC first down. Does Vinton?
And that was Anthony Passero right there, 6'3", 240-pound senior from his defensive end position, coming in, hitting the feet, tripping them up, and then allowing the linebackers to clean it up.
But it moves the chains.
I believe Coach Grodak, I'm not sure, I think he wants his kids to play the rest of this third quarter, and I would imagine then he's going to start substituting.
Going to Owens. They try to connect, and he dives. He can't make the catch. Avery is very quick. We know he has the speed maybe to match Owens a little bit.
Owens had a step on him. On that post pattern, he had the inside. Not a perfectly thrown ball, but again, catchable.
Maybe just a little short. Had to lead him a little bit more. Those are the passes you're going to need when you get to the playoffs.
Yes, and that's what I think Coach Grodak, with his game plan today, one of his keys to the game was he wants to start implementing the pass so that they can't stack the box. And this is a great time to really work on your pass game.
Well, Vinton shoots through again and added 14 more for Vinton. Last week he rushed for 270. He'll be close to the 2 mark this game.
He is just such a tough runner. And Coach Grodak said, to start the game, I said, how would you describe him? And he said he's just a downhill runner. He loves to get in the ball. He loves the contact. And if he gets downhill, watch out.
Quick out. Owens ran before he caught the ball. It's as simple as that.
Yep. And you see right there, Duda saying, come on, man. Again, what's neat is that these guys are in the same school district. This is for bragging rights, but they're still teammates. I mean, it's still one district.
I want to thank the Honesdale administration for welcoming us in tonight and getting into this new facility for us because, again, last year we came here, or 4 years, I should say, as Vinton is going to be well over the 200 mark now because he is all the way down into Honesdale territory.
Conley keys on the stop right there, trying to match him stride for stride. Again, just their base power play in there. And number 52, the pulling guard, Connor Bryant, looking for work in there. I mean, he's pulling in like everything's taken care of.
At 32 more for Vinton. As I was saying, the facility has changed. Talked about it at halftime. Baseball to the left, as you look at the screen, and then right they play softball. So definitely multi-purpose. And it's
how many teams, Bob, because you cover all the sports for Northeast PA, how many have AstroTurf baseball, softball fields? I mean, I don't know of any.
Well, I know some baseball field. I know Berwick has a turf baseball field.
Okay.
I'll think through that, but not a lot of turf baseball fields.
That's what I mean. I mean, even the brown, I was like, as I was approaching, I'm like, wow, that's a deep brown. I'm thinking if they ordered it, and it's not. It's actually brown
it's turf. Yeah, it's turf. Okay. You'll be all right.
I'm all right.
Okay.
I'm not
fine.
seeing things, right?
We got to go to Montour County because we have a whole week to get over this.
The purple and orange.
Yeah, we have Mount Carmel and Danville both winning big tonight, so we'll go into that big matchup in the Heartland Conference. It's more for district bragging and district points than it is because they're both in different divisions in the PHAC.
Correct.
But they are both AAA now. As we know, Mount Carmel moved up. Dunmore, West Scranton. Dunmore was beating, we'll check that score, Lakeland. West Scranton, I didn't know their score, but again, very evenly matched game. Towanda was losing and Taconic was winning. So that's our schedule so far. And then we'll end the season, our regular season, as we mentioned at halftime, Riverside against Lackawanna Trail. And then we'll have a week off and then 2 weeks of playoffs after that.
Dunmore is beating Lakeland 14-7. Scranton 21, Valley View 20.
Well, Valley View was winning that, so Scranton has come back after their big loss last week. And that's a tough one in 4A for Valley View, too. Pyatt to the end zone.
Wide
Owens
open.
with a double move, and he is in for a North American Warhorse touchdown of 21 yards.
Well, the first time we haven't called Vinton's name for a touchdown. Nice job with the double move to get himself wide open on there. Again, it's a shame that Aiden Collins just, fell for it and then couldn't recover.
Kick is up and through, so they extended to a 35-point lead. We'll roll the clock now for the rest of the game as Western Wayne is moving to 6-0 on the year. Honesdale will drop to 2-4 as we still have a lot of time left. But it does get, let's say, once again, easier.
Yes.
They'll be at West. They have Lakeland, Mid-Valley at home, and Dunmore. The only team with a winning record in there is Mid-Valley. So that's where I was talking about that AAA standings.
Mm-hmm.
Prep plays a tougher schedule.
Yes.
So in the long run, if Prep wins out and Western Wayne wins out on points and opponents' points, the way that works, Prep could have the top seed, which has happened the last few years.
And again, Prep just played a 6A school with Scranton, so they get more power points. So they're going to be in the driver's seat in their division. But they always play so tough, and they're playing for pride right now. They always Scranton Prep is always expected to win and win well.
2 years ago, Prep and Western Wayne met at Western Wayne. Prep won. I believe they played again last year.
Yes.
At Prep, and Prep won again. So we'll see what happens because, again, that top seed is going to probably play a fourth seed where the two middle seeds are going to be more evenly matched. So Wyoming area right in the mix. They're now big over Berwick, 42-6. We'll get some more scores from around the area.
Yep, Mount Carmel, 42-14 over Hughesville. 20-14 Dunmore over Lakeland. Dallas, 38-21 over North Pocono.
Prep beating Wallenpaupack 42-13.
Lehman beating Nanticoke 28-7. Tunkhannock 30, Hanover 0.
Dallas 38-21. Dallas could win their third game in a row, and that offensive line may be coming together at the right time. So the kick by Wells again. This one will roll into the end zone, and Honesdale will again have it at the 35-yard line. 4:33 now, and it will roll from here. We're in the third quarter.
NFL on Fox this Sunday starts with the NFL kickoff show at 11. Then at 1, Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles travel south to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Fox NFL Sunday, only on Fox 56.
Did you mention the Mid-Valley West Scranton score?
No, I did
not.
not.
Okay, Mid-Valley was winning 35-7.
Troy 41-6 over Wyalusing.
Crestwood and Pittston, tied at 14 as they give Avery the ball. And big number 88 shoots in for, Hayden
Mundrake there. 6'4", 230 pounds. Nowhere for Avery to run. That young man, Mundrake, takes up a lot of real estate out there, and it's hard to get around him.
So the original line of scrimmage was the 23-yard loss, backed it to the 17. Collins over the middle again. It's been effective tonight. That's Keast, who's made some nice catches in there. And they found that gap in the zone. Again, he's up to the 39. So 22-yard gain. Honesdale will come to the line quickly.
They keep exploiting what Western Wayne's giving them, and this has nothing to do with the score right now. This is what they've been doing all game. Duda on that reception there, and he just slipped 1 yard shy of the first down.
Getting yards has not been the problem tonight for Honesdale, as we talked about. It's scoring. Just one touchdown. They've had, I think, 3 opportunities in the red zone.
Yes, they have. And 2 of those have been long drives for Western Wayne.
Knock out to Conlon Keast, who came in with 8 catches. He has 5 catches tonight alone.
And they're giving, the offensive line's doing a nice job. Avery just did a nice job pancaking somebody, a defensive end, linebacker coming in.
Avery up the middle.
Nice gain of 4 yards right there on that inside zone.
Paul Russick's team has to cut down on the mistakes over the next 4 weeks. You would think they need to win out to make the playoffs. In a very, very well-balanced 4A division as it goes in and out of the hands of...
Number 11.
Oh, 11, Keast?
Yes.
Yep.
And again, Bob, you said...
I think that was 17.
17 it was.
Yeah, okay. Jacob Randolph, a junior, had 2 catches coming in.
Bob, you had mentioned earlier about Honesdale. Their schedule is very favorable for them to get the wins they need to get into the playoffs and fix some of these mistakes and miscues that they've had.
Jimenez takes down Collins. A 1 yard gain officially brings up 4th down.
Great job by Western Wayne secondary to shut down all the receivers, not giving him anywhere. He had a little bit of time to throw, but what I like is Jimenez does a nice job playing discipline, kind of spying the quarterback, not allowing him to break free.
Okay, we're almost towards the end of the 3rd quarter. I don't remember a game that we've done that there's been no punts. I'm going to make you think now.
Yeah, yes, you are.
I may have jinxed it, but they're not punting
they're
here.
Not
we
punting
know that.
here, not down by 35.
So 4th down again. Collins. Here's pressure. Jimenez has it. He knocks it out, and the ball's free, and it's a fumble. Western Wayne recovers. It would have been their ball anyway, but they have it at the 45-yard line. 13 seconds remaining in the 3rd. at Ladour's Kitchen, also volunteers at the elementary school. Intends to be a mechanical engineer. Riley Montgomery, we saw him, a soccer player, basketball, and football, of course. Happy birthday to Rylan as well. He's at 4.5 GPA. He does want to go to college for a business, a 4-year player. Distinguished honor roll, of course, National Honor Society.
Wow.
4-year vice president of the 4-H. He also is a volunteer at the Wayne County Commissioner Basketball 3-on-3 camp. So congratulations to our figure law firm Scholar Athletes. Both will be in the running now after video submission for a $5,000 scholarship. So 2 more worthy Scholar Athletes, Jan Cechak.
Yes, sir, Bob. I'd at 4.5 GPA. That means he's taken a lot of honors classes. That's tremendous workload that young man has.
So Jimenez gets a carry, and he powers up for about 5.
That's just that fullback trap up inside. Again, that nice job got there by number 66, I believe that was. 67, Logan Dietrich on that stop.
So Western Wayne not in any hurry. They're going to roll the clock down as we remain in the running clock situation here at Wayne County. Good crowd still on hand, especially for homecoming on both sides. Still going to see, nope, I was going to say that's not Vidin. That's number 21, Quinn Schwartz, a sophomore.
I would expect that. And again, most of the offensive line still intact.
So we have some subs coming in. Pyatt still remains the QB, but the backfield's a little bit different. As I mentioned, Schwartz is back there. This is Jimenez. Looks like most of the offensive line is still out there, Coach.
It is. With having your starting quarterback back there, you're going to keep your starting offensive line in there.
Fourth down, not punting.
No.
Not punting. They're going to go for it, 4th and 1, inside Honer territory. Give it to the sophomore, and he's not going to make it. He did not make it. Good defense. That was number 5 right there, Babalo.
Nice job with the defensive line, scraping down, clogging the holes. You saw Babalo makes the tackle. 54, Anthony Passaro does a nice job, scraping down from his defensive end. He squeezed it down. There was nowhere for Schwartz to run on that.
So for the first time tonight, Honesdale holds Western Wayne. They get the ball at their own 46-yard line. Under 10 to play here.
Now, defensively, they're starting to substitute some of the defensive linemen in there, so bear with us if we don't have exact names right at the spot.
Timeout on the field. We'll take a look at our Friday Night Rivals Top 10. You can watch and reveal it every Tuesday night at 10 o'clock. Jan and I will pick it probably Sunday. I don't think we're going to have to change too much. Danville's winning. Prep's winning. Troy, I'm assuming winning. I have to look at their score.
Oh, yeah, they won handily.
Yeah. Riverside winning. Western Wayne winning. Tamako was winning. Mount Carmel was winning. Shamokin was winning. Jersey Shore was winning. And Lackawanna Trail.
There's a pattern there, Bob.
There's a pattern. We're not going to change it. Everyone's just going to move to it.
Executive decision made by the sports director, Fox 56, Robert Ide.
Well, that was easy.
Hey,
that's the easiest decision I'll make tonight.
Hey, you're allowed to. You work your tail off. I mean, you were at the fair. You come up to each of the schools, get videos, interviews. You're always on the road.
Plus, I was under the weather this week, too. So, this is Duda, the sophomore, the future. Nice carry up to the 26-yard line.
And you'll see right in there, he's showing some sparks of what he can do when he gets the ball. He's a receiver threat. He's a running threat. Again, that's a good future for the Hornets.
28-yard game, as we've had some cramping going on. I believe that looks like Sean Owens now for Western Wayne. But not sure. I'm assuming he's cramping. He played the whole game on both sides.
Especially on the kickoff returns.
Okay, so we've seen Prep. We've
Yes,
seen
sir.
Western Wayne. We think there are the two teams that are on a collision course for the District 2 AAA final. Both have won in big-time fashion. Pretty. If you're giving me in a boxing term, like the matchup, what are you looking at?
I'm looking at the offensive and defensive lines. Offensive line, I think the edge would go to the Wildcats. Defensive line, because how tough Prep plays, I would say. So if I was doing a C-checks checklist, I would say defensive line, Prep. Offensive line, Western Wayne. Quarterback.
You have to go Lewis Parrish.
Yes,
that's a dual threat.
Yes, the way he runs and throws. Western Wayne's quarterback is trying to get himself better in terms of throwing, which is something they're going to have to do for playoffs. Secondary-wise,
you see Jimenez, and Jimenez who had the cramp.
Good thing that he's up, and you see him coming off on his own accord.
The senior. Oh, we're going to have a punt. No, I'm sorry.
He just wanted to see if we're paying attention. Special teams, I think Prep has the edge.
Mason Avery, still on his feet. Avery, he goes in for a North American Warhorse touchdown of 26 yards. So a couple plays, and Honesdale gets back on the board.
Nice job. They go with that little misdirection, that inside zone, and Avery does a tremendous job. 26 yards bouncing out, but a key block out there as a stalk block as a wide receiver, and he read it perfectly. Instead of cutting back to the outside, he cut inside because that's where his receiver was.
So the birthday boy, Montgomery, back on. And quick note, he was our scholar athlete last year. His sister was the scholar athlete. At least he's now at the University of Scranton. We'll take a break. 8:41 remaining in this.
Yes.
From one side to the other side, you almost couldn't see the other side of the field. If you're on the home side, you couldn't see the visitor side.
And that was funny. Mr. Serra
Ball be placed at the 35-yard line. First down, Western Wayne.
was talking about that with us at pregame.
Yeah.
He said, boy, back in the day, you could just barely see, the head coaches could barely see each other across the field.
Some games have gone final. Wyoming area wins 42-20 over Berwick. Lackawanna Trail 49-13 over Old Forge. Scranton Prep beats Wallenpaupack 42-13. Del Val plays Abington Heights tomorrow in a big game. That is up at the pit at 1 o'clock, and Holy Cross takes on Redeemer. So the Battle of the Diocese of Scranton tomorrow at 7 o'clock. That's at Holy Redeemer. I think they play at Kings. Swartz up. Well, back to our previous conversation. I know when I talked to Western Wayne in the beginning of the year, in the back of their minds, they want prep. They want to redeem. They think they have the team this year that can win a district championship as we replace some linemen.
Well, that would validate Coach Grodak,
Yep.
his staff, and more importantly, his program, what he's trying to establish. They've had 2 good years under Coach Grodak, and then when you face one opponent that always knocks you out of the playoffs, yeah, that's in the back of your mind. And then when they're doing those workouts all year long, that's what they're thinking about. One more set, one more rep, because that's what it's going to take to beat Scranton Prep.
Well, the coach's son now playing quarterback, freshman Jake Grodak, number 11. That Schwartz carries it up. So because of the Honesdale score, we're still in the running clock, because once it happens, right? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't change.
Once you get over that 35-point margin, you can get within a point, it doesn't matter.
No, sir.
14, we talked about him, R.J. Walton. He gets his first carry of the night, and it's a big one. It's a 9 in GMC first down up to the 32. 19 for him.
You see, that's their base power play. Backside guards pulling, doing a nice job. Fullback leads up through.
RJ's a junior, as we have some subs going in both ways now, on both sides of the field. But I think as we talk AAA again, I think Wyoming area is the team that's kind of the unknown. They already lost to Western Wayne. They win tonight. They're obviously one of the better teams in the Wyoming Valley Conference.
Yes.
They could win out as well. So that becomes a 3-horse race, really, to the end. And that's why I talked about that home seat. That top seed is so important.
It is. And again, and also, getting home field advantage in the playoffs, especially first round, is awesome. Fullback trap in there, number 30 carrying the ball.
So the bad news, and this is looking way ahead, is whoever wins the District 2 AAA championship most likely has to play the number 1 team in the state in AAA, I believe, right now, Northwestern Lehigh, who won big over North Schuylkill tonight.
And Coach Hall, he has a great program down there at North Schuylkill.
And
wow.
with the Tigers of Northwestern Lehigh.
Whole different class down there.
Yeah. They barely beat Prep last year. The good news for the AAA champion, they will get Northwestern Lehigh at home this year. Now, next year that changes because District 11 is going to get 3 weeks of AAA.
Yes.
So it kind of bounces back and forth. So the second group for Western Wayne kind of picking up where their first team left off. Kind of a JV game now. Nothing wrong with that.
No,
Walden Flowers inside the 5, inside the Blaze Alexander red zone.
It gives these kids a chance to show everything they can do now for the future of both squads right now.
And you get to play under the lights.
Yes.
You're not playing at 4:30 or whatever time they do play their JV game. I know for Honesdale, this is a disappointing loss. I mean, we talked about the 50th meeting between these two schools. Honesdale has the advantage, but Western Wayne has now won 10 in a row.
That's a hard, as is the proverbial monkey on your back. You know in the back of your head coming in, like, we haven't beaten these guys in a decade.
Yeah.
I mean, that carries some weight.
And for the seniors, they've never beaten them, right? And that's what Aiden Collins told me during the week. We've never beaten them. I've never been a part of a team that beat Western Wayne.
Well, last time, I mean, if you think about it, the seniors, last time that Honesdale beat them, they were in second grade.
Yeah, you're right. R.J. Walton scoots in for a North American Warhorse touchdown. Good job by him. So the Wildcats march 65 yards now. There's the coaching staff for Western Wayne. And Wells is perfect on the night. 48 put up on the board for this Western Wayne team. And just like when we saw, there's Walton's touchdown again.
Just on that outside toss coming inside. Nice kick out block by the fullback, number 30. He read that perfect. That's what coaches are going to look like. Even though Bobby said these are the younger kids, the JV kids, they want to make sure they're executing. Their X's and O's are being done properly. And that was almost textbook right there. Not almost, it was.
So Coach Grodak will pick up his 14th career win as head coach. And over the last 5 years, this will put Western Wayne at 41-17. So 6 straight wins for Western Wayne. Again, head to West Scranton next week.
I mean, it's nice that you can say, okay, scouting-wise, if Coach Minetti at West Scranton, all right, we can exploit their secondary, but how do we stop their run game? That's been a tough order all season long. Nobody's had the solution to be able to do that.
Well, it starts up front, and you've always talked about that.
Yes.
They have a big, experienced offensive line. That's going to carry them in the playoffs.
It certainly will.
And health.
And they've been very fortunate not to have any key injuries or major injuries. Their offensive line has played together for 3 years. They're solid up front. The younger kids have all gotten playing time all this year because of how well the varsity kids are doing, which helps perpetuate that winning tradition that they expect.
Valley View has surged ahead now. Scranton late in that game, 34-21. So it looks like Valley View might pick up another win. So it'll be 5 in a row for the Cougars as they lead the 4A division. This is Randolph, number 17. He's got a lot of room on that left side. The kicker Wells makes the tackle, but a nice return. Jacob Randolph, the sophomore.
Tomorrow, North American Warhorse is holding an Indian Motorcycle Demo Day with 22 bikes, food, music, and up to 70% discounts on Indian apparel. Join us for a fantastic day and check out the coolest bikes on the road. North American Warhorse, your power sports superstore.
Riverside has won 34-26 over Susquehanna. Wyatt Avery, sophomore, on the carry. Jan's going to go down for post-game interviews. Our players of the game, I think it's pretty obvious. Josh Vinton will be 5 touchdowns on the night. And the other one by Sean Owens. R.J. Walton added a late touchdown here for the Wildcats, who will improve to 6-0 on the season. We're under about 90 seconds left in this one. And not the way that Honesdale wanted to have a homecoming game. Didn't start out well. Third play of the game, they fumbled. Western Wayne converted. Another fumble later, and Western Wayne converted another touchdown. And that's the way the things have gone during this losing streak for the Hornets. It'll be 4 in a row they lost, but again, they'll be favored now in the next 4 games. This is the quarterback, Abe Bryant, a sophomore. Bryant up inside the 10 to the 7. So it's an Einen GMC first down inside the Blaze Alexander red zone. And they'll get to the line quickly. And it'll be the quarterback who goes in for a North American Warhorse late score for Honesdale for Wyatt Avery. This is actually number 10. That's the quarterback, Abe Bryant, who went in. So they'll stop the clock, and they'll go for 2. To the end zone, and it's deflected away. So the 2-point conversion is no good. 28 seconds remaining in this game.